Hey everybody, and hold on one second. There we go. That is the Sabres goal horn, and let's talk now about the Buffalo Sabres. Welcome everybody to the Puck Drops here. This is the Buffalo Sabres grades GPA. I'm sorry I missed this one. I missed the Red Wings. I've just been going crazy the last week and a half. You'll be doing grades on the Buffalo Sabres team, their season, on their players, management, and such, and also going through and talking about them and how their season was this year and giving them a GPA since it's college grades. The Buffalo Sabres had an insane start to the regular season, including a point where they won 10 straight games in a row, something that hadn't been accomplished in a long time, and they got 12. They ended up getting 20 points out of each of them, I believe it was. The Buffalo Sabres, though, ended up regressing later in the year with factions of times where they didn't even win a game or get a single point in about 7 of the last 12. And they finished with 76 points, which was good enough for 6th in the Atlantic Division, just ahead of Detroit and Ottawa. And we'll look at center depth, of course, and the big-time center for them is their captain, Jack Eichel, a 22-year-old phenom that was drafted second overall in 2015. 77 games played for him, 28 goals and 54 assists for 82 points, which is good, but for a leader, he seemed to not have the qualities and even have the scoring that was needed for only 82 points. Odd. Zemgus Girgensons, a low-drafted center who's been on the team for a long time, been one of their steady and most consistent players. 25-year-old on the team for a long, long time, since 2012. He scored 5 goals and 13 assists, 18 points, but playing with 17 games played. But he's more of a defensive center, not a scorer anyway. So I like what happened from him. And the young sweet Johan Larsson, playing in 73 games, 6 goals and 8 assists, 14 points. Not great production, but you're getting a glimpse of what to take from him. And Casey Middlestat, the young rookie, playing in 77 games, getting 12 assists and 13 points. Even Keel, 25 points, 12 goals, 13 assists. Good for them, but he's going to have to improve. Sam Reinhart, another young player, he played in every single game this year, scoring 22 goals and getting 43 assists for 65 points, which is stellar. But the goals are going to have to lift at some point. And then Vladimir Sobotka, who was gotten from the trade with St. Louis for Ryan O'Reilly. He played in 69 games, scoring 5 goals and getting 8 assists, 13 points for a role player. And good for him as well. I would give the GPA for the centers of the Buffalo Sabres a probable, let's give it a 2.0. And we'll look at the wingers now. For Kyle Oposo, the former Islander, 31-year-old winger, more aging guy, but 78 games played for him, 14 goals and 15 assists, as well as 29 points for Kyle Oposo, which was good, but not great to the level that he had been, especially as an alternate captain. Then in his second year back with the Buffalo Sabres, Jason Pominville, 36-year-old, goes in and grabs in 73 games, 16 goals, 15 assists, and 31 points, which is a good amount, again, for what we seem to be a role player. Evan Rodriguez, who is a young guy who's supposed to be behind the production of Reinhardt and of the young Nylander, who was not able to make the team, steadily outperformed both of them with 74 games played, 9 goals, including some beauties, and a game winner, and 20 assists, 29 points. For the ex-Penguin, Connor Sherry was another winger that surprised with 14 goals, 20 assists, and 34 points, meant just to be a role player who scored a little bit, but he scored a lot this season. Jeff Skinner, huge surprise in a pleasant way. The Buffalo Sabres are going to need him. He's a free agent this coming year. Obviously, they're going to try to see to re-sign him. I played in every single game. Scored 40 goals, 23 assists for 63 points. The point total is very vast. I know that there were more with more points. The 40 goals most by any Buffalo Sabre this year. And then the final, Scott Wilson, former Penguin, Predator, and Red Wing, plays in only 15 games and scores 3 assists with no goals and 3 points. So good for him. For the wingers, I would put them at a 2.5. And you go to the Buffalo's defenseman. And Zach Bogosian, who has leapt up and really become their leader. The hometown kid, he's played in 65 games, scored 3 goals, and potted down 16 assists to carry across 19 points for him, which is good. And the rookie Swede for defense, Rasmus Dahlin, played in every single game, which is not something that was expected. He's a Calder Trophy finalist and scored 9 goals, 35 assists for 44 points, an insane amount of a rookie defenseman. Matt Hunwick, another former Penguin, a steady defenseman, playing in 14 games, not scoring a single goal, but gathering 2 assists for only 2 points. Not the production that was really wanted, even though the games were low as well. Jake McCabe, another young defenseman, playing in 59 games, scoring 4 goals and 10 assists, 14 points for the Buffalo Sabres. Which again, and a guy they got at the trade deadline with the Anaheim Ducks, Brandon Montour, and he also played in every single game, scoring 8 goals and 27 assists for Keel even 35 points. Casey Nelson, a defenseman playing in 38 games, he scored a goal and got 5 assists for 6 points. And there are other steady defensemen they've had for a long time. The Swede, Rasmus Ristolainen, along for about 78 games played and 5 goals and 38 assists with 43 points. The goaltending, you look at Carter Hutton, who is a free agent taken from the St. Louis Blues. 50 games played, 48 of them started, along with 18 wins and 25 losses. Less of this having to do with his workload or effort, but the team just wasn't able to supply him with the goals that were needed for Buffalo. His backup, Linus Ullmark, was not supposed to start really much, but he was able to start 37 games played with 37 games played, 34 starts, and he was 15-14 with for him. He played good, but the goaltending had issues with some of the defense inconsistency. And for the defense, I put them at a 2.2. For the goaltending now, as we look at, I'm going to put them at a 1.3 GPA on that. You take a look at the coaching, and the coaching was not there. The Sabres coach, of course, Phil Housley, the great defenseman, he was fired, and I don't think he was the voice that was needed for Buffalo, as they had several issues and several problems that were gathering with all of their great players they had. I think they'll be much better next year and they'll improve. But um, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot that's going to have to go down for Buffalo to be able to do that. Coaching, I would put at a 0.8. On their general manager, Jason Botterill, he's got to make a lot of great moves. I think he did make some good moves with Montour. And although O'Reilly has been playing in the postseason excellent, I really think the O'Reilly move was perfect for the Buffalo Sabres, and they're going to benefit from it in the long run. It's good a way to get money for a player that didn't really want to stay. He's going to have to keep Skinner, but I would put Botterill right now at a 1.8 of Botterill. Older player has to step up. It's Jack Eichel. He's still young, but he's getting to the point where he's a veteran, and he's got to put up. He's got to put up more goals, and he's got to show himself on and off the ice as the face of this Buffalo Sabres franchise, or he'll be leaving. A young player who I really like is Evan Rodriguez. His assists match his goals more, but his goal scoring touch is incredible. So I think the Buffalo Sabres are going to do good next year, and I think they can be a playoff team next year, but it's all going to have to depend on these veterans and these players. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a good one on yes, sorry, the final GPA of the Buffalo Sabres. I will put them at a 1.4. But the Buffalo Sabres had a difficult year, but I think they're going to come back, and I think they are a playoff team next season. They've got the potential to be one. We'll see that. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Really interesting to talk to you guys about the Buffalo Sabres, their GPA and their grades and the franchise. Please like, sub, anything to this video you can, and I really appreciate it. And watch and comment anything you'd like to hear about or talk to me about. And till next time, the next video we'll be doing is on the Florida Panthers, and a lot of issues and topics to talk about them in our GPA grading video. All right, so good night, happy hockey, and if anybody's wondering, it's still in the second intermission of game number 3 in Dallas, Texas. 2-1, the Blues lead, and the Blues are tied with the Stars in the series. So good night and happy hockey, everybody.